All right, welcome. Now, this video literally came to my head about 2 hours ago, so I'm not sure how proficient this is going to be, but hopefully it's going to help you at least a little bit know what not to do when learning copywriting. Now, the reason this video has come about is because about a day ago, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and he said, "Are you religious?" And I'll be honest, I'm not a religious person. I'm certainly not atheistic. I'm more on the religious side than I am the atheistic side. But nonetheless, he was like, "Do you know the 10 Commandments? You say you're religious, you want to be religious. Do you know the 10 Commandments?" And I said, "No, I don't know the fucking 10 Commandments." And he said, "Well, you can't be religious unless you learn those. And when you learn those, you can potentially become religious." Anyway, fucking completely pointless story. But that got me thinking. I don't know the 10 Commandments to the Bible, but I know for a fact that if you are a religious, strict Christian, you do follow them to the nth degree, and that sort of molds your entire reality and allows you to be a good Christian because you follow those to the fucking T. So, what I thought is I will make my own 10 Commandments. The copywriting 10 Commandments that should be unbreakable. Now, when you're trying to teach someone something, or when you're trying to tell someone how to do something, there's two ways you can do it. The first way is telling them what to do. Like, do this, do that, do that, do that, do that, in that order, blah, 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 blah. The other way you can do it is by simply telling them what not to do. Right? So if I was, I don't know, fucking teaching you how to pick up girls, you could say, go over to her, say this then, look there, do this, say that. Or I could just say, don't be a creepy fuck. And on the whole, if you're not a creepy fuck, you're likely to fucking get a number. Okay, there's so much you can do, but if you just don't do a few certain key things, that will help just as much, right? So, these are going to be 10 commandments which you are not allowed to break. The 10 commandments of copywriting. I've put these together diligently, and I've spent a good while making sure that each one has its deserving place on the fucking list. Now, each one has its place, and it's going to be a different part of copywriting, from writing to getting clients to sales calls to, securing the client, retaining the client, making sure that you're good at writing in general, so that you have a bit of everything. So it's not just about writing or just about getting on sales calls or just about getting clients. It's about everything to make them as encapsulating as possible. Okay. Now, if my editor has done his job, he will have amalgamated this. I've said that word so many fucking times. He will have amalgamated this with the presentation properly so you can also see the commandments as I speak through them. Right. So, as we can see, 10 copywriting commandments. Thou shalt not do thee. Service is inaction. Let's begin. 10 copywriting commandments. Thou shalt not do thee. First copywriting commandment. Thou shalt not free write. Now, by free write, I'm referring to writing. And by writing, I'm referring to writing without a template. Now, I've spoken about this briefly in some of my other videos. Go and check those out. It's going to help a lot. But what I'm really trying to say here is that when you're starting to write, or even if you're intermediate, getting good at this, you shouldn't be writing anything without a template. Now, there's two templates I use, DIC and Nesby. Again, if you want to go into depth on those, check out my other videos. I spent 2.5 hours going over literally everything you can fucking imagine to try and be a copywriter. At some point in that course, probably one of the videos, I might even pin it at the end, you will see the templates. And the reason you shall not free write and you shall use a template is because if you don't, you are going to start waffling. Or even worse, this is one of God's even bigger sins in the copywriting world, me being God, you are going to write about things which aren't necessary, or you're going to miss things out. So when you're writing, always use a template. It's simple. You just fucking write it down somewhere or write it on the screen somewhere so you have it there so you can always look at it and you can always refer to it, and then start writing. Don't just start writing an email or start writing an advert or start writing a caption or start writing some website copy without this template in front of you. Abide by the template. Do not break it. It's one of the commandments. Thou shalt not free write. Fucking say it. Write it down. I don't care what you need to do. Thou shalt not free write. Now, eventually when you get really good at this, by proxy, you won't need to do this. I still write with templates, but I don't have to write it down. It's just ingrained in my neurons. I don't need to fucking think about it every time I write. Eventually you'll get good enough and you won't need it. But for the moment, and as you're starting, am I spitting all over my screen? What the fuck, man? As you start writing, thou shalt not free write. Okay, write that the fuck down. That's number one, because it's so important, because a lot of people want to learn, and the reason you don't know how to write properly is because you write about the wrong things or you waffle too much. I may as well bring fucking whipped cream and maple syrup onto the fucking screen every time you write. It's not compelling because you're not writing properly. Use a template. Thou shalt not free write. Okay? Second copywriting commandment. Thou shalt not skip a day. This is super important. You need to understand, when you're learning to write copy, yeah, okay, it's in your language, whatever. But it is a language. You are writing a language, and that is the language of compelling words and persuasive speech. It isn't something you can just pick up one day and start writing and start learning and start doing proficiently and get people sales and stuff. It is a language. Everything you're writing, albeit in your own language, is in a certain way. I say this to people all the time. Yeah, okay, it may be in English, but you don't know how to speak copy. Like, you're not fluent in it. A copywriter will be able to see good copy because it will hit all the bullet points using the fucking commandment one. But more importantly, it'll be fluent on the screen. They'll hit this, they'll say that when they need to, they'll say this properly, they won't say that, they'll save that till the end, blah, 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 blah. It is a language, and you need to learn the language. It is the language of persuasive speech and compelling words. I know it's a bit wishy-washy, but that's the way it is. And if you want to learn a language, I speak 2 languages, hola, ¿cómo estás? If you want to learn a language, you cannot skip a day ever. I haven't skipped a day of writing copy for 13 months now. Every single day, for about 391 days, I've written copy. I don't give a fuck if it's my birthday, Christmas, my bird's birthday. I don't care if I'm fucking laying there about to have sex and I haven't written that day. It might be 11:45. I'll be like, no, hang on, whoa. Let me just write a caption quickly. And I know it sounds stupid, but the reason I say that is that a dog? The reason I say that is because if you skip days, you're going to forget the language. Imagine if you stopped speaking English for a week. You may not realize it at first, but your English would be worse, or your Spanish, or your Russian, or your Dutch. Whatever language you speak in, it would be worse because you didn't keep speaking it day in, day in, day out. So never skip a day. When you start learning, when you start writing, when you are a writer, when you are making money, don't skip a day. Ever. It may seem like this minuscule fucking thing, but it's a discipline habit. Because if you skip a day, then you'll skip 2 days, and then you'll skip 3, and before you know it, you'll skip a week, and before you know it, you'll be skipping months, and you'll be shit. And all the learning you did, all the videos you watched of mine, all the practice you did will have been for fuck all nothing. So do not skip a day, ever. I tell this to my one-on-one clients. How much have you written today? Oh, not much. Okay, but have you written something? Yes. Okay, thank the Lord in this case. Because if you skip days, it will like degrade slowly over time. It's like rust on metal in the rain. You won't see it at first, maybe not after a day or a week, but you'll go to write something in a month and be like, shit, I can't do this as well as I used to. You're forgetting the language. You need to do it every day. It's like speaking. If you stop speaking, you won't be good at speaking. So every single fucking day, write some copy. Thou shalt not skip a day. All right? There's an airplane going over, so give me a second. Is that door shut? Yeah. Third copywriting commandment. Thou shalt not make statements without proof. Now, this is more of a writing commandment. So, whenever you're writing copy, whether it be an email, an ad, a caption, doesn't matter what it is. If you make a bold statement, and by a bold statement, I mean a big promise. You say something like it's fucking iron will, like it's the fucking truth, like it cannot be disproved. Immediately after making that statement, you need to give proof, or at least some sort of, I wouldn't even say knowledge, but certainly something to back up the statement you've just made. I'll give you an example. If I say, I'm in amazing shape, the next thing I do will have to prove to you I'm in amazing shape. So, for example, if I'm selling a fitness program, I'll say, it's getting people washboard abs in 45 days at 22 years old. Take Tom, for example, who's in amazing shape, and then it'll have a picture of me and my abs. Or say, for example, you're selling a fucking pill which improves your immunity. You'll say, this is the brand new pill on the market, it's fucking FDA approved, it's over the fucking moon, it's the best thing in the fucking world, it gets people super immunized, they basically never get ill ever, it's amazing. Harvard scientists did a study conducting the fact that this pill does what it says it does. As soon as you make a statement, write this down, please, because you'll forget this. I sometimes forget this myself. When you're writing, when you make a statement, you may not even realize it. When you make a statement, the next fucking line of copy needs to be something backing that statement up, some proof. Now, this is also key. Some of you motherfuckers are gonna, I know what you're like. I know what you're like. Some of you motherfuckers are gonna make a statement and then just make up some random fucking proof. If I make a brand new pharmaceutical pill to, I don't know, stop your hair falling out, I get it through FDA trials, whatever. I can't then say, this brand new pill stops your hair falling out, proven by Harvard scientists. Yeah, to a degree, I did say, and I did prove, and I did give some fucking facts and some evidence, but that's a lie. Harvard has never used my pill for any study ever. So, make a statement, give some proof, but don't fucking lie, okay? I can't say, yeah, this pill gets you in amazing shape, Chris Bumstead uses it and he fucking won the Olympia because of it. That isn't proof, that's a lie. But you can come up with something pretty easily. The whole point is just to make a statement and then immediately after, back the statement up by giving some evidence or a testimony or something to just make the statement not look like complete bullshit. You know when your friend says something and you're like, that's complete crap. And then the second you say that, he brings his phone out and he fucking shows you some evidence. And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, bro, I fucked this girl, she was so fit, Lithuanian, her fucking name was Katarina, she was so hot, basically never been fucking seen by a guy before. I went to fucking, Ljubljana in Lithuania. No, that's Slovenia. I went to Slovenia, went to Ljubljana, I saw this hot chick, she was so banging, I went up to her, I fucked her all night. You're gonna be like, brother, that's bullshit, shut the fuck up. Nah, bro, look, here she is. Then they believe you, okay? So don't make big statements without giving proof. Commandment number 3, whenever you give a big statement, the next fucking line should be proof backing up the statement, because that makes it more believable. And that's what you're trying to do with copy. You're trying to make people not only be intrigued and compelled, but you need to make them believe what you're saying. And if you're not giving proof in every single statement you're saying, they're going to call you bullshit. We're human beings. We're not fucking idiots, okay? You need to make me believe it. And the best way to do that, as soon as you make a statement, give some proof afterwards. Some real proof, no bullshit either. 4th copywriting commandment, thou shalt not use Gmail. Now, this is an outreach one. When you're doing email outreach, do not use a Gmail account, an Outlook account, or a Hotmail account. Now, I know there's others, but you get the gist. Don't use a basic domain account attached to one of these mega conglomerates. And the reason for that is because it makes you look like a fucking amateur. Understand, I run a business. My business partner, Max, runs a business. I have friends that run businesses. When we're going through our emails and we see, I don't know, fucking what's some dumb name? Stephen fucking floppy dick at gmail.com. I know he's an amateur, because if you had a real business or a real service, you would have a domain attached to your business. So, never use Gmail, go and buy a domain. I'm not gonna teach you how, fucking Google it. But buy a domain, it's like $8 a year. Because when you then do outreach on email, you'll just look more professional. And that is all it might take for the person that you're outreaching to believe what you're saying and be interested. That little bit of authority in your email is all it may take for them to go, okay, no, Gmail, bullshit, Hotmail, no, that's crap, Outlook, that's crap. Oh, okay, at stoicmedia.com or something, or at stoicmedia. Oh, okay, he's got his own domain. Brilliant, okay, what's this guy? It looks more legitimate. They're more likely to take you seriously, which means they're more likely to open your email, which means that the things you said in the email is more likely to resonate with them, which means you're more likely to get on a call with them, which means you're more likely to close them, which means you're more likely to sell them. Never use a Gmail account. Buy a fucking domain. It's literally $8. You spent $8 today, I guarantee it. I don't care where you're from. I don't care if you're from fucking Uzbekistan. You have $8 and you can spend it on a fucking domain. Fifth copywriting commandment. Thou shalt not charge below $1,000. Please listen to me. I am not saying anything below $1,000 isn't a lot of money, because when I was starting 12 months ago, my first ever client was $250 and I thought like I was the fucking richest person in the world. It's not about the money. If you're pitching a client and they're not willing to give you $1,000 a month, take it from me, my personal experience. After all, I'm the one fucking laying the commandments. They are going to be a shit client for one of two reasons. One, people that are in this bracket, because I know this bracket, in this bracket, if they're not willing to give you $1,000 a month to write copy, any copy they want, they're cheap fucks and you shouldn't work with them. They don't understand the power of email. They don't understand the power of copy, and they don't understand the power of good marketing. And so $1,000 to them is a lot of money. And what happens when you work with these cheap fucks is they become very hovery over you. They're always checking what you're doing. Did you do this? Have you done this yet? You send them something. Oh no, I don't quite like that. That's not good enough. No. Do that again. Revise that. Send it back. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. This is shit. Get fired. Fuck this. And the reason for that is because $1,000 is a lot of money to them. They want to make sure they've spent every single dollar prudently. They don't want to feel like they've wasted anything. And it's just a pain in the fucking ass. My biggest client, I won't say who it is, they pay me $3,500 a month. I write one, maybe two emails a week. I call them once a week for 10 minutes and I never fucking speak to them beyond that. The bigger the client, the less headache in my opinion and my experience. And the problem with these low, cheap clients, I'm not saying the money isn't a lot, it's just that the kind of person you're going to be working with is just a fucking pain in the ass to work with. It's not worth it. It's just going to piss you off. They're so stringy and so tight. Have you done this? Have you done that? Why isn't that done properly? No, redo that. It's like, fucking just chill the fuck out, bro. Are you the copywriter? Do you know what you're fucking doing? No, shut the fuck up. Let me do my thing. Because I'm telling you now, when they're up your neck all day, you can't work properly. And you'll be shivering over the fucking keyboard. Don't work with someone that isn't willing to pay you $1,000. Now, there's one caveat to this. The only time I will ever allow you, this is right, the only time I will ever allow you to get charged less than $1,000 is if they do 500 up front and 500 after. So if you're on a sales call and they're like, no, I can't do 1,000, it's too much. You say, all right, no worries, perfect. How about this? 500 up front, I then work for a month, and then if you're happy with the results I do, which they should be if you've listened to me, because I'll teach you how to be good at copy, they'll say, okay, 500 after. Sound good? If they agree to that, that's fine, most of the time. But if they're not willing to pay at least $1,000, fuck them off. They're not worth it. Sixth copywriting commandment. Thou shalt not write paragraphs. Listen, copy is as much the words you say as the way they look on the page. It is a language, but it's also an art form. Now, you're guilty of this yourself. How many times do you read a fucking website or something on a screen or some piece of text, and even though you might be slightly interested in it, and even though it might help you in the long run and actually benefit your life, because the start of the piece of text is like 8 lines long, one big paragraph, you just, fuck it. You just can't be asked to read it. Like, it's intimidating to read. It looks like too much effort. You can't be asked. And that's because we are intrinsically lazy as humans. We just see a big chunk of text and it reminds us of school and doing exams and our fucking ugly English teacher who was yelling at us all day. At least that's what mine did. And it's just like, no, fuck that, can't be asked, forget it. And then you just go and do something else. If that paragraph, instead of being 8 lines long, was 8 individual lines, it's much more appealing to the eye. Because one line, I mean, we'll read one line, and if by the time we've read the end of that line, it's leading into the next line, so we'll read that line too, and by the time we've read that line, it'll be leading into the next line, and we'll read that line too, and by this point we're invested, because we've already read 3 lines, and so we'll read the 4th and the 5th, and before you know it, we've read the whole fucking paragraph. It's the same amount of words, it's the same duration of reading, it's just the way you've put it on the page is so much more beautiful to look at, and so much more inviting to read. So don't write paragraphs. On the whole, anything over 2.5 lines, cut that shit down. I don't want to see any of you, if you have a one-on-one client with me, I don't want to see you submit some copy for me to mark and it's got fucking paragraphs or more than 3 lines in it. Not necessary. I write some copy sometimes, and it's just one word. The first line is just one word. And then the second line might be 3 words. And then the line after that might be 8 words. And then I'll get into proper sentences. But the reason it's so short at the beginning is so that it's more inviting for the reader. They don't feel so daunted when they start reading it. Okay? Don't use paragraphs. Thou shalt not write paragraphs. This isn't your fucking English exam. Get that shit out of your head. 7th copywriting commandment. Thou shalt not be woke. I'll give you some time to think about that while I drink this coffee. Now, I've spoken about this in my free class. Some of you may have been to that. If not, it's on Mondays. Check it out. AI is going to take over the world, and it's trying to take over copywriting. But what people have realized, and the harsh, stark reality, and the brutal irony, is that it ain't any fucking good. Do you want to know what it is? Woke as shit. If I have the picture, I'll put it up somewhere. It's basically Elon, you know, the fucking guy that owns Twitter, tweeting an example where he tried to write something on a Google Doc or a fucking something. He tried to write something and he used a word, and the AI that was trying to help him write it said, sorry, you can't use that word. It's not inclusive enough. Please take a second. Imagine you're a business owner. 2 people come to you, 2 copywriters. One goes, hi, my name is Tom. I'm going to write the best copy in the world for you. Another one comes and says, hi, my name is Steven. I'm going to write the most inclusive copy in the world. As a business owner, interested in money, that wants to make profit from his marketing, which of us are you going to pick? The guy that gets you the best results, or the dude that fucking has a rainbow on his arm and says he wants to be most inclusive? Don't be fooled by the modern era that being inclusive is the be-all end-all. It's complete bollocks. I am overtly right-wing in all of my fucking copy. I don't get strung up on it. My clients don't give a fuck. I make them loads of money. Do you think because I'm not do you think because I use an example, maybe I say a story in a piece of copy, and the guy, the protagonist in the story, is a white man instead of a black, tranny piece of fucking shit, that they're gonna care? Of course they don't care. As long as I fucking make the money, they don't care. So don't be woke. If woke made them the most money, say you're working for a gay brand, then yeah, do that. But on the whole, don't be woke. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is a commandment in the Bible itself. So me and Jesus have this both on lock. Don't do it in copywriting or in life, okay? 7th commandment, thou shalt not be woke. 8th commandment, thou shalt not instigate price. Right, I've spoken about this a couple of times and more in depth in the full copywriting course. But when you're on a sales call, I'm not going to go into depth the entire sales call because I don't want to be here all day. But when you're on a sales call, eventually price is going to have to be discussed. That's just the way it works, okay? It's like in The Wolf of Wall Street. You seen The Wolf of Wall Street? Right. That scene where he goes, where fucking, what was it? Matthew McConaughey's, no, is it Matthew McConaughey? No. It's Jordan Belfort's talking to his team. And he's saying, right, he's on a sales call, and the first person to speak loses. And it's the fucking exact case here. When you're on a sales call and you've spoken about everything you can do for the client, and you've asked them loads of questions, and you've asked them why they want to do it, and how long they've been doing it, and what they need problems with, and why if they don't get their marketing fixed, they'll have no money, and their girlfriend will leave them, and they'll be a bum, and they'll be homeless, etc., etc. You come to price. Now, the key is to make sure the client instigates the price, not you. And the reason you want to do that is because then it's their idea. They are telling themselves, I am prepared to spend money. So, let me give you an example. Say we're on a call. I'm a business owner. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is my business. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I do this, etc., etc. Cool, awesome, right. We ready to go? Yeah, okay, let's do this. And then the person on the other side of the screen goes, all right, sweet, that's going to be $1,500 a month. Whoa. Chill the fuck out. You're just throwing big numbers at me out of nowhere. Okay, it takes them off guard. They're like, hold the fuck up. Whoa. Instead, what you should do is wait for them to bring up the price. Because if they bring up the price, it's their idea. And they're not going to fall back on something that's their own fucking idea, are they? So when you're on a call with a client, just wait. I don't care. I've had some long fucking pauses, believe me. Fucking hell, go back. I've had some long fucking pauses. But eventually, they always fold. And you know what they say? Okay, brilliant. So how much is this going to cost? Boom! When they say that, then you can say your price because it's their idea now. They fucking said it. And then you can say, brilliant, that's going to be $1,000 a month. And then you shut the fuck up and they'll say yes or they'll say no. Okay? Thou shalt not instigate price. Always wait for the client to bring up price on a sales call. Ninth copywriting commandment. Thou shalt not do mass outreach. Right. There's two types of outreach. There's mass outreach and there's personal outreach. Or mass and minute. Or, yeah, mass and minute, mass and personal, whatever. You never want to do mass outreach. And the reason for that is because in the 2024 world we live in, mass outreach doesn't fucking cut it anymore. There are so many people pitching so much shit. Unless you are literally saying the client's name or the prospect's name, a piece of information about them, a compliment directed at them, and some taboo knowledge about them, which most people wouldn't know, in your outreach, they are gonna think you've sent this to 1 million other people. And they don't want that. They will feel disgust towards you because they think you sent it to loads of people. I know if you go on Twitter or Instagram or you're in the fucking spheres, you'll get these people saying, I can get you 1,000 leads and send you 1,000 emails all at once, and that's better because sending one email is no comparison to sending 1,000 emails because of the volume, and if you send 1,000, at least 100 will get back to you, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Do not do mass outreach. Don't just send an email to 1,000 people saying, hi, don't even say their name, hi, I'm an email copywriter, I want to do copywriting for you, you could use it, let me know, and we'll get on a call. And I don't care if you send that to 10,000 people. In this day and age, that doesn't work. Maybe 6 years ago, that would have worked. This is 2024. You can't do that anymore. You need to be personal. And I'll tell you what, I am willing to argue that if one person sent 1,000 emails with that bullshit I just said, and another person sent 5 emails saying, hello, name, and then you give a fucking personal compliment, you say something in their business which is actually not going well that you can fucking help them with, something specific, and then you give them a personalized solution, and you fucking say their name a couple of times, and maybe reference a taboo part of their life, like, oh, I saw that you started your business because your cat died, and because she got ran over by a truck, you now make alarm bells so that whenever a cat goes, I'm making this shit off the top of my head, whenever a cat goes near a fucking metallic object, the bell goes off and it scares the cat and it goes back inside. Some bullshit. I saw that happened to you and that's why you started your company and I'm very, very impressed, blah, 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 blah. You say that to them, they are gonna know it's only for them. And that's the key about outreach. When you're outreaching, the client has to feel like the outreach is only meant for them. It would make no sense if it was sent to anyone else on the planet. So don't do mass outreach, ever. Now, you can do a lot of you can do a lot of minute outreach, but that's not mass outreach. Doing volume of minute outreach is not the same as just doing mass outreach. You can send a fucking 100 personal outreaches. That's inconsequentially higher and more effective than sending mass outreach. But don't do mass outreach. Just send loads of personal outreach, okay? And finally, the 10th copywriting commandment, thou shalt not use AI. Now, for a few reasons, I have a personal vendetta against AI. I don't think I can say the things I want to say on YouTube because it will get taken down. If you're in my free class, you know exactly what I fucking think about this, but I refer to AI, or someone that uses AI, as a roundabout. And if you don't get out what that means, roads are straight, roundabouts are. So don't use AI. One, because of the thing I mentioned earlier, it's going to be woke, it's going to be shit, it's going to be pointless. But secondly, something I want you to understand, I know everyone's preaching to use ChatGPT and use these AI write bots to fucking get shit done quicker. You are kicking yourself in the bollocks by doing that. Because I know you think you're writing quicker and you're getting results quicker. Let me tell you something. The high-paying jobs in this world that pay copywriters thousands and thousands of dollars, they aren't using AI. They are using real people. And if you use AI and you rely on it all the fucking time, you're not going to get any good. it's like driving. If you drive a manual, you'll be better at driving than if you drive an automatic. It's just the way it fucking is. If you rely on the gears to be done by someone else because you're a fucking invalid, oh, I can't do the gears, oh, I'm fucking stalling, oh, the clutch, the smell of the clutch, you fucking miss the gear every time, you're a fucking idiot when it comes to driving. You have to use an automatic. The guy that can seamlessly fucking whip in and out of fucking gears and drive with one hand, he's a better driver than you. But if he started using automatic, he'd be a shit driver too. And by using AI, you're using less brain power and less skill in your own copy. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. If you want to get better, don't use AI. And if you want to make big money, you're going to have to get better. And by using AI, you're not going to get fucking better. Okay? Thou shalt not use AI. Now, I want to make... Thou shalt not interrupt Tom on a fucking YouTube video. Now, I want to make this clear. These are 10 commandments, right? There's more, obviously, the shit you shouldn't do. But I teach everyone this, at least one-to-one. I drill these into their fucking head. If you only do these and you only adhere to these, like in the Bible, on the whole, you'll be an upstanding citizen. On the whole, if you do these, you will be a decent copywriter. I know people that write copy that break at least 3 or 4 of these. So if you don't break any of them, I can't tell you everything to do, but I can tell you some iron rules to not fucking do. Because if you don't do these, at least you'll be more on the right path than if you hadn't done them, okay? Go over this again. Write them down if you need to, fucking memorize them so that when you're writing or outreaching or on a client call, you don't forget them. These are the commandments. You have now subscribed to the religion. Do not fucking break them. If you break them, the copy gods are gonna know and give you bad karma, and anyone that you outreach to is never gonna get back to you, and instead they're gonna get back to the guy that followed the fucking commandments. That's how this is gonna work. So follow the commandments, okay? It's not that difficult. And if you do that, and you watch the rest of my videos, you should be okay, all right? If this helped, subscribe. If you liked it, like. If you didn't like it, dislike. If you have any ideas or want to know something, leave a comment below. But yeah, I hope that helped. Service is adjourned.